Right.
Holla, holla.
RW3. We have Moni in the middle.
That's right.
And we have yours truly, Antonio. And guys, listen, we have a great topic today, as always. You know,
Oh,
we going in today talking about, and before we go there, guys, how was your day? How was everybody's weekend? I know we don't see each other as much.
Busy.
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 Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is what it was.
That's right. That's right. It's been challenging. It's been a challenging
yes,
week
it
for me,
has.
for real. It's been busy week. You know,
Yeah, but it's all good.
That's right. You guys,
We're here.
That's right.
You got a birthday coming up.
Yep. Say
Yes,
happy
sir.
birthday
That's
to
right. Happy
RJW.
birthday, you know,
Yes, sir.
where you gonna be
birthday.
for your birthday? What you doing for your birthday?
I'm on the run, so I really don't discuss what
That's right.
in public forum.
That's right.
So, but I'm gonna be in the United States. For
Okay,
the most
well, that's
part.
good.
We
That's-
forgot
well-
he the FBI.
Well, you notice I didn't say where. I just said what you doing.
That's
for
right,
your-
right.
He's gonna
for
be
your
on
birthday.
He's
Bora
a
Bora.
president.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't put you out
Secret
there
Circuit,
like that.
circuit, whatever.
But yeah, that's what's up, guys. We've been pretty busy. It's been a lot going on, guys.
It
It's been a
has.
lot.
It really
There's been a
has.
lot of things trending. I mean, every
Oh,
time
my
I turn on the
goodness.
TV, every time I go to YouTube, I just see a lot of things going on.
is.
Whether it's with these pastors out here, whether it's with these killings, with police
cop
killings,
killings,
and
yeah.
we had who passed away.
Elijah Cummings.
Yeah, we can give shout outs.
Right. Yes.
Yeah,
to the,
condolence.
Rest in peace,
condolences
condolences.
to the family.
Yes.
A great man.
Yes.
A lot of good work with
Lot of good
the oversight committee. A very upstanding man. He was able to work with both sides of the
Everybody,
aisle.
yeah.
You know, the Republicans and Democrats.
That's
and
right.
was a great thing about Elijah Cummings was he lived in his district, in his community.
Yeah,
that he served in the Baltimore area.
Baltimore area. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, did he have anything to do with the impeachment of or trying to impeach Trump?
well, he's
Was that
Well, I
he's
know
on one
he's-
of the committees that's doing some investigations.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's
yeah,
He chaired one
anti-Trump.
of the committees, right?
yeah.
And with that census coming up for 2020, he was trying to fight them putting a checkbox on there for people to say whether or not they were citizens. So,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
so
What do you mean? Should they say if they citizens?
Well, they were saying there was going to be a checkbox on the survey this year saying whether or not you were a U.S. citizen. And he was fighting to not put it on there because he was saying it would prevent people from even filling out the census.
Right,
So
and
we
then
wouldn't
everybody
have
need to
proper
be
count.
counted.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
Oh,
So they
okay.
might think it's something going on, and it is more. It would be. They'll be afraid to do it more so.
Yeah, they wouldn't fill it out.
Yeah.
And we would have
Would
an
that-
accurate count.
Oh, okay. So does that matter in terms of what is the immigrants?
Yes.
It does matter with the immigrants. So should they not put their name on there? They shouldn't.
No,
put their
they
name.
should because the country
Okay.
needs to know where to allocate resources. I mean,
Okay.
I would guess a lot of illegal aliens don't fill out the census anyway.
Yeah,
Nope, they
that's what I
sure
was
don't.
thinking
That's
too.
true.
Do they even fill
true.
it out?
Probably no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, let's get into it, guys.
Alrighty.
It's a lot going on, and I guess we titled this one "Here We Go Again." Here we go again, or what's that?
What's that other one?
Florida
What's that?
Evans. Y'all know how I go Florida Evans. What was Florida Evans' favorite word? You know what I mean? Damn. You know, that was her favorite word, and she said it. I didn't. Right.
Right.
So anyway,
So-
we titled it, that, and not to again. We're not. First, let's say this. We'll say this. Allegedly, we like to use the word alleged.
Yes, we do.
And at the same time, by no means do we want to make this seem like it's a joke or funny or anything,
Right.
because it's not.
Right.
But we'll get into it. I think Lady B is going to really kind of go over some things before we get into it.
So the question is, what's the difference between Aaron Dean, the police who shot 28-year-old Atatiana Jefferson at her home in Fort Worth, Texas, and Amber Guyger, who shot and killed Botham John?
What's
What's
the
the
difference?
difference?
And well, let's look at it. Okay, so what happened? Okay, first we'll like to say that she was an educated young lady,
Yes.
college graduate, had a degree, a bachelor's degree. So we know she wasn't nobody just hanging out in the street. Even if she did it wouldn't matter. But she was educated, you know, very intelligent young lady. We also understand that the next door neighbor, I believe it was a next door neighbor who called the police, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Called the police and
Doing a welfare check.
yeah, check, and the door was open. He found that to be a little strange, which obviously it would. You know, I don't know what the time of day it was.
It was about 2:30 a.m. or 2 something in the morning.
Yeah, that's
that
kind
is a
of like
little-
some weird stuff going on. We don't know why would the door be open.
Wide open, yeah.
Now the officer, they dispatched the officer out. Officer, I guess he walked around the house or walked on the side of the home, looking to see what's going on, and I guess he seen the window or the blinds open, and he didn't announce that he was a police officer, but he told her to put her hands up or something. But then after he said that, he shot through the window, killing her instantly. And and now this woman was in her own home, you know, minding her own business with her 8-year-old nephew, playing video games, you know, having fun with the nephew. And I guess she must have heard the noise around the house, which I would think the officer would have went to the front door and announced that he was a police officer, yelled through the front door, and maybe he would have got an answer. You know what I mean? So what do we think about this?
I guess the major, when you said difference, you know, notwithstanding all of the things that happened after the officer got there, was he was called to the scene, and with the previous incident with the with Amber Guyger, you know, it wasn't a police run. She wasn't being dispatched or anything like that. In this particular case, the officer was called to the scene on official police business.
Right.
That's the major difference.
Yeah, and then being the same is that this person was again in their own house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Minding their own business.
Doing something very casual.
Exactly.
Caught unaware.
Right, and die at the hands of a police officer for minding their own business. And, you know, anybody else want to chime in? Go ahead.
So I'm just trying to understand, 2 a.m, the doors were wide open. So, I mean, if I was the neighbor, I would kind of call because that does seem a little like strange.
Yeah, I would be afraid to enter in and investigate myself. I would have called an officer as well.
Yeah, but the officer, though, going to the home should be in another state of mind, should not be in a mind of fear.
Right.
So what do you guys think about that?
Well, that's good. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
I think that for me, this is just my personal opinion. I don't believe that the cop is, and this, you know, I don't think at this situation it was based on being racist in terms of black and white. I'm thinking it was more so being a coward. If we look, we look up the definition what a coward is, you know, and I believe it's based on being a coward, not being, not using his right mindset in terms of knocking on the door, yelling through the door, saying that he's an officer. Is everybody all right? Maybe mentioning her name to see will she come forth, and then go forth and do whatever it is you need to do. But first say her name. You know what I mean? The door wide open. Why would you not flash a light? Or if you felt like something was dangerous, why wouldn't you call for backup before you enter into the door?
Well, that's what I was going to say. It seems like maybe they would have, if they don't already, put some new protocols in place where if a person has a fear, if you have backup, you know, did he go alone? He went alone. He had some fear. Maybe he wouldn't have been so fearful if there was another officer with him.
But police procedure isn't built upon, what I mean in terms of procedures, just that's not part of the discussion in terms of building procedures. It's based on what's a best practice to keep the officer safe and as well as keeping the citizens safe. Right. So we don't build, I'm not an officer, I'm sorry. They don't build procedures based off, okay, if the person is scared, they should do this. No, based on this scenario, this is the course of action you should take. and not. We got to throw fear out of it.
And
I think a best practice would be to go with more than one officer.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so too.
okay. I'm not saying it shouldn't.
Well,
but-
this is my thing about fear. This is how I would draw fear. We all human. So fear
Right.
comes, and then here's the thing: stereotype. Okay, so stereotype, and we've been human.
Oh, yeah.
It produces fear.
That's
So
right.
how would I address this up? Okay, so now. We don't know the area, and I'm not saying that the area was a bad area, but anytime I believe this, that you mentioned that you're going into a black community and you're a white officer,
right.
the first thing that's going to set in mind is that what they've heard and what goes on in that community, first of all, just being black. So right now,
That's
I've
right.
already said in my mind, I've already built walls up in my mind that something can happen to me.
That's right.
And I want to go home to my loved ones. So now fear is a factor there.
Very much so.
So now when
That's
I
so
don't
true.
know what I'm going into. So now I'm walking into the unknown. So now when I see the situation and if I'm so quick to shoot, that has to be fear. Or you just a coward. That is one or the other, because I'm drawing my pistol and I don't even mention that I'm a cop. And then as soon as I say, put your hands up, I pull the trigger and shoot.
Well,
Right. So,
let's-
real quick,
That's
the
fear.
definition of coward is a person who lacks the courage to do or endure dangerous
Bam.
or unpleasant things.
That's what he was in, that situation.
well,
Dangerous situation.
so I think we're jumping way out in the deep, assuming he was afraid.
How?
And I'm about to tell you why.
Go ahead.
We don't know, what the fear comes in, of course, of the unknown, generally speaking, or
Right.
the person has some previous experience with something that would suggest moving forward they should be afraid.
That's fear.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
So
Stereotype.
now we don't know the relationship that officer had with that community.
We don't have to.
No, yes, you do.
It's
I'll
a
tell you what.
dangerous
No,
situation.
no. Because if that particular
Why would
officer,
you pull a gun then and shoot him?
no, if that officer had a relationship with that particular community, there's no need for that person to be afraid. That's number one. Number two,
But he pulled the trigger.
I know that. What I'm saying is, like, from what you said, from what I hear, and we don't know if it's true, that there was a weapon pulled.
Yeah, I just read that today that
She's
this
on home
article
property.
is
That don't
saying
matter.
that she pulled a handgun from her purse.
Right. She ever
So what I'm saying is, hold on. So what I'm saying is, I
when
do
did she do
believe that
she have the right to bear
it's
arms.
naturally officers. It's not even a fear thing. They're automatically trained. If someone pulls a weapon, you shoot to kill.
But if
Hold
you-
on.
No, not
So
without
now,
mentioning that you're an officer
Okay, wait.
first, though.
What he made a mistake, I agree with that part. That he did not announce police officer, whatever. But he naturally responded to if in fact a gun was pulled, even though he made a stupid decision by not announcing he was an officer, his natural response is somebody pull a gun, I shoot. And that's still
I'm wondering
wrong.
if he even saw that though, because if you
Right.
saw
I
the
don't think
video,
so. I don't think so.
it-
and this
it
is
doesn't
what,
seem like
Right.
he saw much of anything.
Anything.
But they said that there was a gun in the house. They said it was a gun in the house. They didn't say if she pulled the gun.
What a
Now, I
9-year-old
don't-
boy did.
But the 8-year-old boy. I
8-year-old boy.
don't know. Okay, so even if she did have a gun, now this is pulling the gun when I'm bringing it out. Now, if I have the gun already in my hand, I'm not pulling the gun. I have the gun on me. So now, if I'm not pointing it towards you, then where's the threat? Now, he may have seen a gun, but she still didn't pose
And
a
if she
threat
took
to
out
him.
a gun, I'm guessing that she took it out because she heard somebody moving
Yeah,
around
he wouldn't
her
have seen that
property.
because think about this: how would she be able to raise the blind and pull the gun at the same time?
No,
the
she
gun
didn't-
had already
she
been
didn't raise the blind.
Right? Well, he
The
seen
blinds were
her.
open?
Yeah, she's. I don't. But this is what I do know is that he's seen somebody in the window. He pulled his gun and didn't even say that he was a cop. And in fact, when he said put your hands up or whatever he says, just as soon as he said it, he pulled the trigger.
So what
Now,
if she
to
was?
me,
So
that's
what
a
if she was
coward.
put?
What would be the
So
rationale
what if
behind
she
that?
was putting
Because
up her
he's afraid
hands?
of his life.
Afraid of what though?
So
Of
but-
dying, of
Well,
anything.
hold on.
The
What-
unknown.
I'm asking you, what would he be afraid of?
His mindset could be, listen, this why
Because of the gun.
No, that's not necessarily true. I can be already put in my mind. Okay, so
I'm going into
okay,
this
so
neighborhood.
then I'm going right.
that's
I'm
in
going
a
into this.
predominantly black neighborhood.
But then look at the Baltimore situation. What's his name?
Botham Jean.
Yeah, look at his
Baltimore John.
situation. He didn't even have a gun. She shot him. What?
But I think that's a different situation.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's based on fear.
It's based on the fact I believe
fear.
there's previously something between them two.
No.
That she
It's
walked
based
in
on
there.
fear.
Yep.
I think it's fear.
Not that she shot him on purpose to kill him.
I don't believe that. I don't think she
I
shot him
think
on
it was
purpose.
on purpose.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think that. But my thing is, I'm thinking that because I don't think you got to understand what purpose is. What does purpose mean?
And again, we
'Cause
all
you-
give
you're
our
using a
opinions
statement.
on
Yeah, but what does
conjecture.
purpose mean?
But
Right.
I think that,
Right.
But just-
in my head, I think
gotta
that
flush it
she
out.
had a tenant dispute with this guy that she wanted to handle on her own.
Yeah.
Wait a minute,
And-
so you think that she's a murderer? She intended to kill this
Absolutely.
person, knowing she's gonna go to prison for the rest of her life.
She
I think
thought she was gonna get away with it.
That's why, like all the rest of them.
She thought she was going to get away with it.
I think that it was a cowardly act again. I think it was another cowardly act, and she didn't know how to deal with it. But that's beside the point.
everybody have
I
their
guess,
own opinion,
Yeah,
right?
everybody have their own opinion.
Yeah.
But I'm saying focusing back on this guy, he pulls. Why would you pull the trigger if you didn't feel like you were in danger of something? You get what I mean? Why
He
would
had
you
to
pull the
feel
trigger?
that way to have his gun drawn.
Exactly. So is that
And
a
I
coward?
think stereotype plays a huge part because if he had a wellness call in a neighborhood, like, I don't know, a lot of people listening to this may not be familiar with Birmingham, Michigan,
Yeah.
affluent community, predominantly white. I don't even think he would have had a gun drawn. He probably would have walked in like, hello.
Well, I thought it was a scenario of a young black
Yeah.
boy that was at Birmingham, Michigan. He ran up to the door. He was supposed to be going to school. Remember that story? He was supposed to be
can't
going to the
remember.
school. He knocked at somebody's
Oh, that
door.
it wasn't Birmingham, but I remember the story.
To get
He was
what?
trying to get directions to school.
Oh yeah. The man came out, and started shooting. He
Shooting
didn't
at
kill
him.
him, shot at him. But exactly. So my thing is, what was that based on? That was fear.
Was that fear?
That had to be. Listen, why would you pull the trigger when you didn't? You don't even know the situation. It was dark in there. How did he see the gun? You know what I mean? It was dark. It was behind you see, your eyes is that good that soon as you seen through the window, you seen her with a gun pointed at you. I don't believe that. I don't believe that whatsoever.
Wow.
It seems like every time I click on, I Google her name, it's a new story, like something else. Now it's saying now it's saying victim's nephew says that she pointed gun at window after hearing noises. So that
doesn't make
Goodness.
sense.
It's like
That
these
just
stories
popped
are
up.
That makes
just
sense.
like
So I'm going
get it.
I'm going by the first statement that was made when it happened and when they reported it.
At that time, they
said
had
that-
interviewed the kid, though, Tom.
well,
Because of the first statement, you didn't get the kid's interview.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, okay, regardless to that, I'm going to use yours. I'm not, because I'm that big and bold. I'm going to use yours. I'm going to take yours to the defense. That he said that she had a gun. So what? What does that mean that she had a gun?
You mean, what does it mean?
What does it? You heard what I said. I said, what does it mean?
Now, first of all, we agree if he didn't identify himself as an officer, okay,
So
all
she
this
had a
goes
right
out
to
the
hold a
window.
gun.
Right. So, but what I'm saying is, an officer, if you have a gun in your hand, if it's drawn or not, that's a threat to the officer.
No,
I'm telling you, it is.
not to shoot.
No. If you got a gun in your
have a
hand, and I
weapon.
ask you to drop it, and you don't,
But he didn't
at that
say
point,
that.
they can
He
shoot
didn't
you.
say drop the
He
weapon.
said, put your hands up.
Yeah, that's what he said. Put your hands up, and he shot. He didn't say drop your weapon. We're going by what the man said. So where was the weapon pulled out at?
When she started pulling her
No,
hands
she
up.
didn't. He didn't say drop your
He
weapon.
shot.
But he didn't say
I
drop
don't
your
think
weapon.
he saw that. There was like
I know
no
he didn't. He
span
didn't
of
see that.
time.
He didn't see no
She's
gun.
smart enough to know to
There
drop
was
the
no
weapon.
span of time between him saying that and him shooting.
Yeah, because that was like real
what you're
fast.
saying
So
is,
if you say it, you give the
hold on.
person a chance first.
And
You're
then going
right.
by what Warmack's saying is that the officer is justified for killing the lady. That's what you
28-year-old
said.
girl.
When I
That's what you
first said it,
said.
I said this. I said he did not identify
No,
himself
let's
as an
get
officer.
your let's
That's
get
what
your
I said.
point. Let's hear from you. Do
Well,
you
he's wrong for
think
doing it.
why? How he wrong? She had a gun. Because
he had-
what you just said.
For the third time, he didn't identify himself as a police officer.
What that mean?
That's important.
So what? He trying to protect himself. He pulled it. He seen the gun.
No, he was wrong.
But you just
'Cause that's
said as an
procedure.
officer.
That's police procedure.
Well, I hear what you're saying, but you said you contradicting
No,
yourself.
And
separate.
if he would have identified himself as an officer, she wouldn't have felt threatened. Like
Right.
she would have known it
So-
wasn't
Yeah.
just somebody coming
but,
to
but, you,
right.
but woman
rob her or
contradicted
something like
himself.
that.
You said two different things. First, you saying that he had every right.
No, what I said was,
yo,
I'm about to tell you
okay,
what I said.
go ahead.
I said officers are trained
We know that.
to, if someone has a weapon or there's a threat with a weapon, they're trained to shoot to kill.
That's
Let's
right.
separate that.
Right.
I'm saying in this particular case, I want to separate the two. When he came on the scene, he didn't follow police procedure by identifying himself as a police officer. So everything else is out the window. Then I said, and generally speaking, he responded that way. If what the kid is saying is true, he's responded based on the fact somebody pulled a weapon. I'm trained to shoot to kill. I'm not saying it's right.
Well, okay, so the first of
I
all,
don't know if he even saw the weapon.
I don't think he's seen a
Because
weapon.
that would be too fast
Yeah, I don't
for
think
you
he's
to
seen the weapon.
say.
If you
hands
saw the
up,
video,
yeah,
it was dark.
Pow.
Yeah, and we talking to an
That's a
8-year-old.
video.
We talking to an 8-year-old.
With a cell phone.
What?
And it's not like they told him they edited it. You don't know how light or what he could
I
see
think it
from
was
a
his
video.
body
No,
camera.
it was dark. It was dark for
It
the
was
body
shown
cam.
from his body
But
camera.
you know how body cam. If you
No, it's
you know
still
how body
dark.
cam showed it's not. It
Well,
doesn't
from
give a
what I
true
saw,
depiction of
No,
how light something
the
is.
visual that we get as a viewer
Okay, so
not there.
why would he
it
resign?
was a body
then?
cam.
Why
it
would
was
he
dark.
resign?
Because
Why
he was
would-
going to get fired. Because he didn't follow procedure.
No.
The guy
listen,
said
listen,
it. He said
listen,
it, Tom.
listen. Hold on, listen. Let's go by what the statement that was said. Okay, so the chief of police said that he was going to call the officer in so that they can come to some conclusions of what's going to happen.
No. He didn't say no. I just saw the statement. He said I was going to fire him.
No, he didn't say
I'll
that. He
read
must
it.
have
I'll find
rechanged
it.
it now.
Yeah,
He must
he
have
said I was
rechanged
gonna
it.
fire him.
I've
Must have changed
I
it.
seen the
They
video.
changed it
I
up.
seen
Yeah.
him
He said
say
I was
it
gonna
out of his
fire
mouth.
him.
Okay, now he
He
didn't.
resigned before I got a chance to fire him. That was his
Yeah, he
quote.
resigned early on. They
Yeah, yeah.
said that one of the first things.
Yeah,
is that-
Well, from the you got that from the video or you got that from words?
From a quote, in quotation from the chief.
Okay, so now from the video that I've seen, he said he was calling him in to talk to him about what they were going to do. And he said before he came in, he said that he had already he resigned. Now that's what he said. Okay, but going back, that doesn't even matter because he said he was going to fire. I'm saying, why would the officer resign if he didn't think he did anything wrong? Meaning pulling the trigger.
because
No.
he knew there was going to be a lot of fallout from this.
Yeah.
Right.
He resigned because he know he did something wrong.
Okay,
He know
Because
he
why
shot
would you
that woman
resign? Because I would not resign
unjustifiably.
if I knew for sure that I didn't do anything wrong. I'm standing my ground. No, I'm not resigning because I didn't do
Listen,
anything wrong.
No.
That-
What I disagree in my.
When you disagree, put
Well,
the facts on the table.
This is what I agree in terms of because of politics and business
Right.
that some people resign because
They
it's
don't want to deal with it.
right or wrong.
They still gonna deal with it. How's that
No.
gonna That's not gonna
People don't always resign because they're guilty.
listen.
Some people
That-
step down
listen.
because of public perception.
No, he
or,
stepped down because
But we
he
don't know.
knew he was bold. Why would I step down and give up my income that's going to take care of my family unless I know I was wrong and I didn't take care of the situation the way I should have taken
people
care
resign
of it?
all the time when they don't feel like
Yeah,
wrong.
but we're not talking about everybody. We're talking about this officer who killed this black woman knowing that he did wrong and he didn't even give the situation a chance and you just pulled the trigger and didn't even announce that you were an officer. You just pulled the trigger. As soon as you say put your hands up, boom. Now listen.
I don't think he thought
So-
he was wrong. I think he resigned because he felt he was going to get fired.
Oh man, no, I don't think so. I
Because
think
of all of the heat
Yeah, well,
going
now
on.
you said that he a racist.
Because there's no.
And that's what
No, I
you're saying.
didn't.
You
No, I
said that he a
didn't.
This look what I'm saying. You're saying a racist is a person that hates you because of who you are, because of your color. So now, if he don't
No,
think
behavior. Race is an action.
Yeah, well, it's still a color. It's still based on color.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I said, because of color. So my thing is that you said that this man didn't resign because of him. He don't feel he did anything wrong.
I don't think he did anything wrong.
I think
I
he
don't
did.
have a strong opinion because I think it happens both ways. I think some people resign because they did something wrong. Some people resign because they just don't want to face
But you know what they do though?
the issues.
Now let's go down that rabbit hole. So if they do resign because they felt like they didn't do anything wrong, in those situations, a lot of times they don't believe that they might even go get jail time. They just resign because they feel like if they resign, then it's over with. Now he resigned.
This officer has to know he made some serious mistakes.
So what did the resign mean?
Well, Kwame stepped down, and he didn't think he's wrong. He's still talking about he wasn't wrong, and he resigned, Tone.
We talking. Listen,
No, you said
talking
people
Just talking
about
about people resigning, not wanting to
going
face.
to jail. Listen, he didn't
fallout.
look at himself as in a straight up murder where he shot and killed somebody. This man resigned because his conscience played with him. He's jacked
knows
up.
he made mistakes.
Yeah, he for doing wrong, and now this man thought that this would help resolve some of the issues, where the chief of police went back and said that it does not mean because he resigned that this is over with. I'm
No.
saying it in my own
He
words.
couldn't think that either.
Yeah.
He has to know it's not going to go away from
No,
him
it's not
resigning.
going away. But my thing is that he was wrong for pulling the trigger. It to me is even bigger than not saying I'm a police officer. To me that was a cowardly move, and it was based on fear. And I'm gonna go so far and say it was 100% fear. Fear, and I think it's half of these police officers is out here that need training. And they need to deal with their fear. And if you a coward, you don't need to be on the police force. It's almost like if you're going into military. Who's going
to admit they're a coward, though?
Right.
Well, your actions gonna show.
I don't think you
Your
can.
actions
So
gonna
we
show.
should
I
do
don't
some
think you
tests.
can- I
They
don't
should be
think you can get
tested for
around.
cowardliness.
Well, your actions is going to show. Your actions is going to show because of what you would do in the middle of that. It's almost like, do you know fear kills people? People die
yeah,
in
fear.
fear.
I
But
say
I
that
don't
all the
think-
time.
They
Yeah.
don't kill other people because
Oh,
of
yeah.
fear.
Yeah,
But I
they'll
don't
kill
think-
themselves because of fear.
I don't think you can get around with certain jobs fear of the job. When I was in the military and we went to Persian Gulf, I was afraid to die. But I still did my shifts and I still did my job. I think you can have some level of fear and still effectively do your job.
That's normal.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
That
you
wasn't
can't-
normal though. That wasn't. See, listen, I get you because you should have fear just because you step into the police car and start driving. But I'm saying that levels of fear raises when you in the situation now and you walk in behind that house and for one, what even made you go check the parameters out?
He shouldn't have
What
gone
give
alone
what I'm saying is
to begin
what-
with.
But what would give you a reason to go around the house and the door wide open? Why you wouldn't yell her
Yeah.
name and say this is the police?
This the police.
Why
Right.
would you do
That's
that?
true.
because it's a wellness check.
Yeah,
you don't
I think
take
we
people with you
going
on a
too deep
wellness
on-
check.
So
Yeah,
a wellness
you
check.
gotta check
but why
the
would you bring?
perimeter.
I'm
So
not
why would you
saying
bring have a gun all drawn out if it's a wellness
we don't know
check?
at what
What do
point
they
he
do
pulled the
during
gun.
the wellness check?
He
Do they
pulled the
put guns
gun.
out?
No. It ain't.
I think
that.
it varies.
He
It
pulled that
depends
gun
on
when
what
he was
they
walking
face
behind
when they
the
get there.
house. Don't believe the stereotype. But okay,
I think
so
a wellness check need to be not with police is coming, but like state community type of people coming to check, but not police's wellness check. I mean, I don't know.
Well, my
welfare
thing-
check rather.
Well, when they get there, if there's something strange going on, I mean,
You need an officer to be able
Yeah.
to address
Okay.
it.
Well,
yeah, you can
to
have
me-
an officer, but
to
you can
me-
still have somebody that's
But
more
this
sensitive. I
this
don't
is
know.
a common sense factor for me, right? When you see a door wide open at 2:00 in the morning, I'm not finna go around the building first.
Why not?
Because the door is right open, I'm gonna yell
The
out the
front
name.
door.
I'm gonna save myself. Before I go around this area, I'm gonna do one step at a time. The first step I'm going to do is the door is wide open.
But
I'm
they
gonna-
secure
I'm
the
gon-
exterior
No,
first.
I get that, but
Well, they
I'm
should
going to
have
say
more
my
cops
name.
on there,
I'm
on
gonna-
the
should be
job.
more than one.
But I'm going to stand at the door with my gun drawn. I'm going to yell out her name, and I'm going to say, "This is the police department. Are you in there? Are you in there?"
They do have protocols for that, don't they?
but-
I mean, I don't know, because I would think that before
But he
you
didn't do that,
before you enter in, you want to make sure you're not going to be ambushed from the outside.
But you could stand on the outside and do that. The door wide open. He didn't even have to go. He could stand out in front of the house and have his gun drawn and yell her name out. Why would you yell
He
her
don't know her
name out?
name.
He do know her name because they gave her the name of who. Okay,
She was babysitting.
Okay, so we'll play that role. He didn't know her name, but he should still yell, "Is there anybody in the house?" This is the Wichita Police Department. So whatever we use names or whatever. So, but after he do that, then he's gonna go around the house. He should do that. But at the first thing, I would call for backup. I would say, I need backup. The door is open. It is something going on that doesn't make sense. But before I go around the house, I'm going to stand and wait for backup. That's what I would do.
No, you're right.
Because
That's why procedurally he was totally wrong.
But what I'm saying, I'm going to protect myself. And first of all, I'm going to look at me before I look at her. So I need to know, because anybody can do something to come at me at any time. But guys, listen. Before we go on, what do you think? Comment about this.
I know this is trivial to the story, but I'm curious to know why her door was wide open. At that time, anyway.
What that X is.
That's the mother thing. I'm like, why was her door open?
That's true. Yeah, why was her door wide open at 2-something in the morning? So that doesn't make sense to me.
What I read, though, that they were playing, and the time got away. They were just playing, and they might
video games.
Because sometimes, in the summer you might be getting some air. I mean, who knows?
Yeah. But guys, listen, we're going to end this video. Guys, let us know what you think about this. Leave comments. What do you think? I mean, we know that it's already went out. All the information is already dropped. Right. What do you think? Let me ask you this. Should cops be trained? And should we stop looking at and going quickly? Because I've seen some of the videos about it's quick to go to being racist. So does it deal with a person being a racist, or is it someone just plainly a coward to me?
Or poor police training.
Poor police,
well, yeah, you know what I mean?
I think it deals with fear and stereotypes.
Yeah. So, but I never get away from the word coward. Coward goes a long ways. But anyway, my thing is, what do you think? Chime in, let us know. Guys, don't forget to like this page. Don't forget to share this page. Guys, we just trying to bring you informed information. And stay tuned. We'll talk to you later.
3 strikes.